Everybody's talking about the story that took over America, unfortunately, a little over a week ago. Luigi Mangione is now incarcerated for that brazen attack and killing of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Luigi was caught up in Pennsylvania. Boy, have they had themselves a year in news. And, you know, as charges begin to fall for Luigi and his extradition process begins, and listen, let's be clear, he's never getting out of jail. He will never see the light of day as evidence starts to manifest about water bottles that he touched at the crime scene and the fact that his schedule aligned with Thompson's and he was in the hotel, and they're starting to track it down to a T. One of the things that the law enforcement officials have been able to track was Luigi Mangione's manifesto. Now I'm going to read this manifesto to you guys, and I want y'all thoughts about it because I have mine. This is what Luigi had in his backpack that was confiscated by law enforcement officials. This is what he said, and you could put one and one together that this was about the attack. To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, and a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some struggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I worked in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. A reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly 42nd in life expectancy. United is the largest company in the U.S. by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. It has grown and grown, but as for our life expectancy, no, the reality is these, you can't decipher what he's saying, have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed decades ago, and the problem simply remained. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I'm the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Again, Mangione has been charged with second-degree murder, criminal possession of a loaded firearm, possession of a silencer, and possession of a forged instrument in state court in Manhattan. So, again, he's never getting out of jail. Even if he didn't do it, at this point, there's no way on God's green earth New York's law enforcement officials, or even at a federal level, they would ever let this dude out of jail, because you don't want companies feeling like this could ever happen again. Now, I don't know if I would take him at his word. He said he was working alone. I'm not going to lie to you. Reading that manifesto, that wasn't good enough to me. Now, the rumors are that this young man had some sort of a back injury, and that this brazen attack, got arrested dead of Brian Thompson, was because his back injuries were so serious, and he tried to put in a claim for health insurance or something along the lines of that he can no longer have sex. I'm telling y'all what's really out there, right? And if that is true, I think if a person can no longer stand up straight and have sex, that's the type of thing that sticks with you enough to want to do something to somebody. Now, most humans, we don't do stuff to nobody. We have to sit in that, right? What's confusing to me is apparently this young man comes from a family with money. I mean, a lot of money. I mean, a company that's a part of campaigns and political seasons for the Republican Party, or at least have been asked in the past. So you have to ask the question, if he could pay for his own therapy or whatever treatment he needed, I guess, why is he so mad at the healthcare system if it didn't wrong him? Because at the end of the day, he could pay for money. He had the money to pay for to get whatever done anyway. Again, maybe if it is, which I need him to put that in that manifesto, that this is about the fact that I can't have sex no more. That would be fire than what he wrote. That manifesto didn't tell me nothing. All it did was make him somewhat of a martyr. And I do believe a lot of people are going to rock with Luigi because he set it up as if he was doing what was best for the American people and not himself. But again, if you believe the dirt sheets and the rumors and the rumblings, this is about a young man that back was so messed up, he could no longer have sex the way he wanted to. We'll see if that information manifests into facts as this thing gets closer to the court case. I will say this. For anybody rooting for Luigi in his case, just remember, in what's supposed to be a civil society, anytime people go rogue and start doing things, it never benefits minorities. So I can't root for bruh because he killed a United Healthcare CEO. I'm sure that CEO has made decisions that have negatively impacted a lot of people, maybe even self, right? But that ain't the way to solve it. That ain't how we conduct business day in, day out. And again, if that game gets played, usually minority groups get impacted the most when people go rogue. So I can't support this. This was a man that made a selfish act that's going to see him spend the absolute rest of his life in prison. But to be fair, if he can no longer have sex, maybe he didn't give a damn about spending the absolute rest of his life in prison. Time, love, and support is what your boy never take for granted. I'm out. Right now, I'm offering you a special way to support your boy FERRO. If you enjoy my great quality content I put out every single day, make sure you cop a Facebook supporter badge or a YouTube membership. The prices start as low as $3.99 to show your boy that you support the grind. Tap in right now and join a special community of those that support your one and only yours truly, FERRO.